Hey again, Matthew with Conscious Recovery. I'm continuing my discussion on tools of recovery, things that we can do to mitigate the damage done by either trauma or addiction. Turns out there's a lot of overlap between the experience that a person has after trauma and the experience they have in addiction. I happen to think that if you have a problem with addiction, there's a reason for it. It didn't just happen by accident. Your addiction is helping you to solve some kind of problem, whether it be too much stress or life out of balance or just numbing the feeling of trauma itself. So if you can find out what your actual need is that your addiction was trying to fill, you can come up with healthy tools to help you fill that need, and you can start building a better life. All right, that's the name of the game. And I'm continuing on talking about emotion. And the tool today is really more of a concept or a framework to try to think about emotion. It's sort of a 3-step questioning period to analyze whatever emotion you're going through to figure out what tool is best for you. I realize that emotions are very unique and complex and that everybody's going to have different situations and a different experience. So rather than me share what I do for any specific emotion, I'm going to give you a 3-step framework so you can just ask the question of what solutions can I come up with, and then you can understand how emotions operate a little bit better. And to do this, I'm working off the basic framework of cognitive behavior therapy. So CBT is a type of therapy that usually focuses on your thoughts, and it is often represented with a triangle, okay? At the top of the triangle is your thinking, and then connected to that is your emotional experience, and then in the third tip of the triangle is your behavioral response. And all three are connected. They can go in any direction, just to show that your thinking can lead to emotions, and your emotions can lead to behavior, and vice versa. So the idea with CBT is if I'm having a whole bunch of negative thinking, okay, then I'm probably going to have negative emotions. And if I have a lot of negative emotions, it's going to change the way that I behave. All right, that's the basic framework. But what this really does for us is let us know that any emotion we have has 3 solutions. This is how I view it. You can have a cognitive solution where you think differently about your problem. And then you can have a behavioral solution where you actually do something to change your situation. And then you have an emotional experience. And this one's a little tricky, so let me explain. Emotions aren't just a feeling that you have. They're actually like a pre-programmed response of the body. Take fear or anger, for example. Something happens to make you afraid. Your body responds in an automatic pre-programmed way. Your muscles tense up, you startle, your pupils dilate, you're looking around, your breathing changes. It's your body automatically getting you ready to deal with whatever's coming your way. Similar with anger. Your blood rate, your heart rate goes through the roof, your breathing changes to bring more oxygen in, right? People shake because of the adrenaline release. So your body responds in very physical ways to emotions. So there are physical solutions. For agitating emotions like fear or anger, things like that, you can have a tool of body relaxation to calm that down. All right. But the reason I talk about these 3 different possible routes to solving for any emotion is because emotions are complex. So let's take the thought one, for example. You can change the way you think about an emotion, and maybe that helps a little bit, right? Or if you understand that your thoughts are under your control and you recognize you're thinking negatively, you can change it to a more positive line of thought. Maybe that helps create more positive emotions. That works fine in that instance. But if somebody's in your face and they're screaming at you and criticizing you and putting you down, I don't care how much thought reframing I do. When somebody's actually in my face, I'm not going to be able to control my emotions in that way. And also the emotional experience, I could try deep breathing and I can try relaxation, but I'm not going to be able to relax very much when somebody's in my face screaming at me. So that's where a behavioral solution comes in. That's where you say, I'm walking away. You go and take a break. You wait until you calm down. You come back. You see if that person wants to talk. So there's solutions in your mind to change your attitude or the way you think, your habit of thought. There's solutions in the emotional experience itself to calm the body's response to that emotion. Or there's behavioral solutions. And so whatever emotion you're dealing with, whether it be rejection or inadequacy or loneliness or anger or, intense blame, whatever it is, whatever is holding you up in your recovery, whatever emotion you're dealing with the most, the one that's causing you the most trouble, do yourself a favor and sit down and try to see if you can figure out some solutions, some strategies to help with this emotion on each of those levels, okay? So there's either the thoughts, the physiological experience of the emotion or the behavior. All right. And you know what? If there's any questions, if you're watching this video and you have a specific thing that you're dealing with, feel free to drop something in the comments, and if I can help, I can. I will. All right. So check out these 3 levels of analysis for emotions and see what you can come up with. Thank you.